The following podcast contains mature language and adult discussion.
Figured we'd add a little something to the
Is that a Kiss poster in the background?
For some reason it is. I'm getting Yoko vibes right there. All right. Welcome, everyone. Yeah, I guess that's the club he's playing. They had some posters up on the wall.
All right, come on, man. I'll fucking walk.
Did you tap?
Fuck, man. I tapped way sooner than that when we were playing the game.
That's the that's tomorrow's new generation faction. Welcome to Kliq This, Kevin Nash podcast. I'm Sean. He's Kev. We did heavy movie talk before we went on the air today. And I feel like that's where we've been opening recently. Because I last week we covered the film that I read the book for, and I'm still not going to remember the name of, with Ethan Hawke. Leave the World Behind. We covered. But this week I saw Iron Claw, Kevin. And I'm itching for you to see it. Will you be waiting for streaming or making a trip to the theater?
No, I won't be going to the theater. I don't go to the theater.
Maybe, I can't imagine we wouldn't get a screener code for that, right? Like, they're going to be pursuing awards.
What does it do in box office?
It is... it opened at 5.1. It's currently at 8. Budget was 16 million. So a slow crawl. Theatrically, you can't expect a film like that to do it in the theaters. That's going to be the afterlife.
I said that it would be on Max in a month.
That'll make their money on whatever streaming contracts. Yeah, 4.8. That was the opening weekend.
So they made it. They made it for.
Oh, they're at 9.9. There, they made it for 16.
16. So they basically got to do 32 box office to break even.
Yeah. They won't get it at the box, I don't think. But unless it gets nominated, then people go to see it afterwards. But I don't know if it'll get to 32.
I don't think it'll get nominated. It's too late.
For SAG? For SAG Awards, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was good. You know, I a B plus. If I had to put a number, I hate that labeling thing, but like, I'd give it a B plus. The pluses, I think, were the acting. I think it's certainly worth seeing. It was very well acted, but
I saw a clip today on something. It was Flair, and they had a close up of it was Flair cutting a promo.
Yeah.
And Flair does not. I did not see Rick in that.
But who could do Flair but Flair? I mean, that's like everything's a bad impression unless it's Rick himself.
Jay Lethal.
That would have been an interesting visual, yes. But you see, it didn't bother me like the Harley and the Rick, like that. Gino Hernandez actually looked pretty good in it, but those didn't bother me because it wasn't really germane to the story as far as those guys were kind of ancillary. But I thought the dialogue suffered a little bit. There was some moments where it was just like a little too on the money with what they're trying to say. And then I don't want to do any spoilers for you, but there's a bit of an afterlife scene, which It would have been absolutely fine if no one opened their fucking mouth and we just watched the boys. It would have been very powerful. And then it's a little hard to watch Chris erased. I understand story-wise, it would have gotten very complicated if now the whole Chris storyline went in there. But I don't know. Like, I'm looking at a scene.
Yeah, but you're telling a story that's,
based.
But what does this say at the beginning? This is based on a true story?
Based on true events or something like that. But like I said, it was hard to watch.
Not my film, so.
No, I know. But I think it would bother you too. I think it will.
Yeah, no, it'll bother me, and I was close with Harley. It'll bother me that they, if it bothered Sean as much as it did, it'll definitely bother me.
The physicality on Harley, I thought, was pretty good. There's a promo scene. There's later Harley wasn't fit. He was a bruiser. He had the beer belly, but it was
he wasn't narrow shouldered.
You may be right. I wasn't focusing on the width of the shoulders. You're right. I didn't take that into account. The promo wasn't very Harley-esque.
No, it was, and there's nobody on God's green earth that's been in the locker room with Harley for 3 minutes watching.
That doesn't do a Harley.
Yeah, and can't do a better Harley than that guy. So it's like
the other thing,
motherfucker.
That's day one in the locker room for you, right? At
Exactly.
WCW, Harley's ash.
Who broke you in, kid? Broke you in right.
The other thing that was a little strange, and it's in every film that touches on wrestling, they have to address this question creatively. How much kayfabe are you going to portray the sport as having? And they tried to retain a lot of the kayfabe in that Fritz would say things like, you're going to get your rematch, son, and you better make it count. I think they should have just stripped that away. And you know what? Fritz's storyline, where he had total control of what the boys did. There was no, it wasn't your night tonight, son, out there. He had total control of who was getting the heavyweight title shot at Texas Stadium. Would have added so much more pressure to the Suns, because that's what it was like.
Especially once he said the scene I saw where he said, maybe I saw something else. Maybe I watched something on YouTube. It was like an hour-long special on that Von Erickson came out 4 days after the film did, and it was all Kevin. It was them talking to Kevin, and then some clips of Fritz, and Kevin said that Dad definitely had a pecking order of who his favorite was, and it was Carrie after the youngest one died. They got shot in Niagara Falls. Did they make reference to that?
There's a scene at the dinner table where Fritz says, Carrie, you're my favorite, second to so, and then it's you, David. He said, but the order is free to change. It's all up to you guys. So the ranking system in the home.
But did they make any reference to the youngest one dying?
The boy, they do make reference to the boy, and he there's that afterlife scene where we see the boy, but not Chris. Not.
Did they put the kid over? Is he gonna win or?
The 5-year-old? Yeah, he looked to be in good shape. And Carrie wasn't, so he might have been able to get a quick win, maybe a sunset flip or something like that. But anyway, worth seeing, Kevin. I hope you get a code or something, and we can talk about the Iron Claw.
But not after me saying I'm not going to go see it. They're not going to give me shit.
You'll see it.
You
won't go see it, but you'll see it.
There's nothing that I have to go to the movies and see.
Right.
Once that started to be a place where people walked in with AR-15s, no, there's nothing on earth that makes me have to go to a movie theater.
Right.
I can fucking wait a month. I can wait 2 months. If I'm not in the loop, I'm not in the loop.
Yeah. And nowadays, everything hits the streamers really quickly anyway, so you don't miss much. Drop $20 and you can watch Killers of the Flower Moon already here.
Oh, if I don't. Steve said even if you're in the movie, if I'm in the movie, I don't watch it.
But if you're invited to the screening, you wouldn't go. You've been to screenings. I've seen you some red carpet footage from, I guess, Magic Mike.
I did Magic Mike more for Tamara and Tristan because I knew it was going to be at Mann's Theater. I don't like the whole red carpet shit. It's not my gig.
Mm-hmm.
I hate getting dressed up.
Yeah.
So it's like, but I just thought like this is we can drive around, we can drive around LA. There's a giant billboard at one end of Sunset, giant billboard on the other with us on it. We'll go to Chinese theater. We'll go to the after party. We'll go to the after party, and everybody will see how this shit goes. And
we can still say Chinese theater, right? Mann's Chinese theater. Is that politically correct? I've got to say Asian.
It is
theater,
Mann's
right?
Chinese theater.
It's not China. You can't say Chinaman's theater though. But you got to put the man in the right place. Mann's Chinese theater.
Right. Mann's Chinese theater.
Mark Cafe Brown was watching last week on Christmas Day. Always good to have a release scheduled for Christmas Day. He says, Kevin is such an incredible inspiration to me. All that he has been through in the last few years has really helped me to relax, reflect, and accept things my wife and I are dealing with. Kevin has taught me to keep my head up, and we will all be okay in life through all the hard seasons. Okay, so Kev continuing to spread the love.
Just a really wealthy capitalist bastard that I am. I think I've definitely taken a few.
Yes.
Taken a few bean balls in my day.
Taking a few on the chin. A few balls on the chin.
Who's taking more balls on the chin, Yogi Berra or Rock Hudson?
Oh, that was a hot one in 6th grade, man.
Yep, wasn't it? Rough
Rider, baby, 91. Damn, now I can't stop thinking about Nash's Yule log.
Get in line, baby.
It made an appearance last week. Tom Talker 2000. Oh my God, I needed that laugh today. Thank you guys for those church clips. That tree falling on the drummer had me going.
Wouldn't you have just got up and just chucked that tree?
In a fury, I would have thrown that thing across the stage. The fact that there's like a couple of stages, he continues to drum through being covered, but he at this point looks like Stephen King at the end of Creepshow, and it's just a plant playing the drums. Then he begins to kind of like one-hand it while he's playing, pushing the and that's not working. It's
Christmas Eve, right? My mother-in-law goes to church.
Oh, the midnight gimmick?
No, this is like noon. So then she grabs my brother-in-law and his girlfriend, and they're gonna go, and she calls the house phone and leaves a message. My brother-in-law never is gonna pick up a house phone. So she gets there like 4:30 and cuts just a scathing promo on both of them because they're not ready to go. And we're gonna go out to dinner after they get done with this second church visit. So Tamara's on crutches, she had her hip worked on, but we're gonna all go out because we got no food in the house, and I'm not cooking. So we go out, And my brother-in-law's telling me the story about how my mother-in-law exploded on him, and she's still in a shit mood over it. I said to her, I said, so that whole church thing, it just like just really calms you down, huh? Good for the soul.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
She's from Georgia, your mother-in-law?
No, she's from Troy, North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
I think that's she's from Troy. Because Tam's grandma was from Troy.
Is her father around?
My mother-in-law?
Your father. Is your father-in-law alive?
If he is, we don't give a fuck.
Oh, she doesn't maintain contact with him.
No.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. The history.
He's a piece of shit.
Did she remarry the mom or?
Yes.
Okay.
Double J, Jeff Jarrett here to tell you about SaveWithConrad.com. You've heard Conrad talk about the total nonstop savings they provided current homeowners. But did you know Conrad and his team can also help My World listeners become homeowners? They make buying a home easier than getting the bag after a good housekeeping match. But don't take the Last Outlaw's word for it.
Franklin Dove, Orlando, Florida. After listening to all of Conrad's podcasts and hearing the different stories that he shared, I felt the time was right for me to explore buying a home again, and reached out, and one thing led to another, and finally closed last week. It was excellent. Everything flowed smoothly from my first contact. I just put in the initial request online. Francis reached out. We started the application process, got the approval moving. Holly was great. Larry Thompson was amazing. Everything was smooth. Communication was perfect. Really, it was a much better experience than anything that I could have imagined. My name is Franklin Dove in Orlando, Florida, and I got into my dream home thanks to SaveWithConrad.com.
That's right. In my world, it doesn't get any better than 5 stars. Don't let your landlord get over on you. Walk out on that bad deal and stop throwing your money away on rent today with SaveWithConrad.com. That's right. It's SaveWithConrad.com.
NMLS number 65084, equal housing lender. Woo!
The Palette Pro. If I'm saying that wrong, I apologize. Very Merry Christmas to Kev, Sean, and the crew. You guys make my Monday more bearable. The conversations you two have are intriguing and humorous as well as informative and comedic. I still insist on a daily morning 1-hour show. Kev, do we have it? Well, who would hire us to do 1 hour in the morning? It would have to be like a 4-hour morning slot, right? I'm talking about legit radio.
Yeah, I mean, I could do it because I could do it before I go to bed, but it's going to fuck my whole day up. I mean, I could.
No different than like when David Lee Roth was doing a morning show. You just cap your night off a little 6 to 10 a.m. Stop at Sirius XM.
I drank a little, like a couple glasses of wine at Christmas, and I haven't had anything since. I'm going to see how long I can go. And one of my buddies said, wouldn't you wait till after New Year's? I went, no, man, that's rookie. Like anybody can not drink in the joint.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't go out. That is the definitely the amateur hour performance.
Oh,
I stay off the fucking roads. I go to my brother-in-law's house.
We sit right in our house. If you want to come by, go on the roof, and you can watch the fireworks from 10 cities on top of my house.
Yeah.
We got 2 rockets supposed to be going off tonight.
Down
one
in
at
Canaveral?
One at 8:30, and then I think that's that big fucker. The big one's going off at 8:30, and then there's another one going off at 11. SpaceX.
I was down there for the first SpaceX launch. It was like COVID time too, and it was a little hairy. We drove down, try to get a good view on the coast there, and we found this place on the water in I forget where it was, but it's a thing down there. It's like when you're in the Space Coast, that's all the bars have their launch parties, and
Oh yeah.
it was a whole thing.
When we built the deck on top of our house, the thing was that we had to, like, we couldn't just build it. It had to hold like the equivalent weight of like 122 people, because that's how many people you could get on the deck to watch a shuttle take off. Yeah, the heavy's going off tonight. Then that's the sweet one.
I think we'd have a more interesting show than Busted Open Radio. Who's that? Dave Lagana and is it Bubba?
Bubba's
Bubba
on
and Tommy sometimes. I don't know if
Yeah.
it's consistent or Tommy's like a guest. But yeah.
I don't know. I think we talk too much wrestling.
Yeah, that would probably make us far less interesting.
Yeah, but if you're on every day, you can't. What are you going to talk about every day? I mean, I could definitely find something to talk about.
How long is the Busted Open show on Sirius? What do they have, like a 2-hour slot maybe?
I don't know.
I'm asking the crew here. Somebody must know. What do they do? 2 hours or something? Or they just license the podcast, right? And they cut it up for XM. I was talking to somebody, Kev, some months back about that kind of thing, and they 9 to 12, so 3 hours. Yeah.
Every day?
It's a daily, I believe.
They're making any coin working every day?
Well, it's what they do. You know what they're doing. It's and the person suggested we do this if ever talks happened, is do our show so we have it known, and then you license it to Sirius to put on the air when we're done recording it. So it would be in two places. We'd have this, and then it would syndicate over to Sirius.
I get it. That means you get paid twice for one.
And more importantly, it's our show. We
That's
own
right.
it. Oh, let's see here. I know there's more.
A lot of people have asked what the background city is. That's Detroit. It's just topped off. You can't see the Penobscot building. You can't see the top of the Guardian. You can't see all of the Renaissance Center.
Now, is that the downtown where the stadium, where the arena used to be?
Cobo's right there. That's Cobo Hall right there.
On the left.
Right. No, on the right.
I'll have to put Sally Jesse glasses on.
That actually looks like the baseball stadium.
Oh, on the left.
On the
Yeah,
left,
that's taller,
but that would be that's shooting the opposite way. That's shooting, like, if you go, that's shooting towards.
Yeah.
That's Cobo.
Okay.
That to the left is Cobo.
Now, where was the Joe that in relation?
The Joe was looped around. It's nowhere, like, all of them now are on off of Woodward.
But they were near each other, right? The two arenas.
The Joe?
Yeah. No.
No, because maybe, God, how long ago did the Joe was there for when Tiger Stadium was still around?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, let's see. We're gonna get a fact here. We're gonna get a factoid. What are we looking at there? So there. All right. So Joe Louis Arena, which is now. All right. That would have been.
That's gone.
Yeah, but it would have been. I'm looking for another landmark. What the fuck? I don't know. Anyway,
for all our viewers that aren't watching,
yeah, we're staring at a map trying to figure out where the Joe Louis Arena was before they leveled it. Doug2731, I know he's a listener. He says, y'all only talk about the most divisive political shit. It's like you're trying to push viewers away, talking about everything but the one thing people obviously want to hear Kevin Nash talk about.
my cock.
We cover it.
Yeah, we talk about it.
The Yule log. See, Doug, here's the thing, Doug. And you address it in the hopes that, you want to talk to everybody and get everybody on board. But you also think, well, maybe I'm talking to an 11-year-old being an idiot right now. But in the event that Doug is not 11, you see a bunch of comments I read before you that enjoy the variety of what's being discussed. I mean, you can go. Kayfabe commentary is a great place to go for Kevin's career and the great years that Kevin was on top, and he covers it all 3.5 hours. But here, this is where Kevin is today. And you know what? Some days, yeah, we're going to talk about punk. Kevin watched some punk. He might have been on the phone with Waltman, and maybe he talked some wrestling, current wrestling. But you know what? He probably had his wall of political televisions on. I described that on a podcast that I was on. They were asking about your interests. And I said, Kevin has a wall, much like Lex Luthor, of just televisions from all different media outlets. And there's 24/7 news being played. So you know what? Something catches his attention. It's the Kevin Nash podcast. So that's what he's going to talk about today. Doug?
Yeah, I don't watch much wrestling. It's hard.
Milk Carton. I just want to say that between the Smiths and Depeche Mode to good old-fashioned Motown, Kev seems to have impeccable taste in music. I don't remember him voicing an opinion on music I did not agree with so far. Not surprising, his son would be a musician. I'm one myself, for the record. Okay? Yes, Milk
So I
Carton.
guess I could be your own personal Jesus.
Someone to be your friend, someone who's there. I'm trying to think of the follow-up lyric. Pseudonym 1821.
Reach out and touch me.
Faith. You go for touch me. I thought it was touch faith.
Touch faith.
Personal Jesus, right?
Yeah.
It's all just a metaphor for it's right here, bitches. It's right here, bitches.
Something like that.
Hey, Kevin, Sean, I know you, this is Pseudonym 1821. Hey, Kev, Sean, I know you guys said you wouldn't dignify the NHL at all the rest of the season because of their stance on the Pride tape, but another scandal occurred in the NHL over a mask. Goaltender Marc-Andre Fleury wore an Indigenous Pride goalie mask in honor of his wife. He and his team, the Minnesota Wild, were both threatened with a fine and both said, fuck the NHL. He wore it anyway. No fines were levied against Fleury or the Wild. Thoughts or feelings? So I do have the story on that. Now, the thing with the goalie mask, why it's a little different, I think, goalies always customized their masks, right? So you can't go with the argument of like, it's not the uniform, the veiled, when people didn't want to say they just didn't like the Pride tape.
Cheevers used to have the stitches all over his mask.
That's cool. Where the pucks would...
yeah, with the pucks. I always
that's
thought that
great.
Cheevers had... Cheevers is probably the... does anybody remember who the first person to wear a mask is?
I'm going to say Mil Mascaris, but you're probably referring to hockey.
Hockey.
Okay.
The first goalie to wear...
El Santo?
I'm pretty sure it was Jacques Plante. Because I
That
remember
would be
we
some
had
ridiculous
we
trivia.
had like Sawchuck, Crozier. Like the last one not to wear one, I know was Gump Worsley.
God, of all the names, like I wish I was Gump Worsley. Such a boring name.
1959. Steve Kaufmann just pulled up a little Jacques Plante for us.
Was he a Hab? Who did he play for?
No, he was good. I'm pretty sure.
No. Montreal. Was he in Montreal?
Wasn't he? Yeah.
No, Canadians. Yeah.
There's the look over there. Look at the Cheevers one.
Look at why he needed them.
Yeah, right?
Yes. A bloodied
There's
face.
the Cheevers right there.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Is that Gump?
That's. And this is, let's see.
Who's the guy that you showed that with no shirt on? Was that Gump Worsley?
Right there. Who is that?
We don't have his name?
Stitches all over his face. No, Terry Sawchuk.
Oh, he was a Red Wing.
Before masks became standard equipment, 1966.
Before masks became standard equipment, everybody that looked like Frankenstein had a job.
He looked like Leatherface, but only there's no mask
Jeez,
on it.
man.
It's just all the
Talking
torn
about
flesh.
Hockey players are just such a different breed.
Oh, brother. Oof.
I mean, I don't give a. They're like, but they're not that big. I'm like, I had a lot of buddies, man, that played like even the Palmer brothers that played downriver in Trenton. One of them played for North Stars. One of them played for they both played some seasons, and they weren't the biggest guys on earth, but there wasn't an ounce of fat on them. They could both fucking skate 190 miles an hour.
Well, that's the thing. You have to be limber because you're fucking skating 24/7. You never still.
Now there's some big. I mean, there's some big old fuckers that play hockey.
When I had my Devils season tickets, I would always get or the membership they call it actually. Call my guy. I'd always get right in the corner. I wanted that corner seat, 1 or 2 rows back. I don't need to be first row. The glass does break sometimes. 2 or 3 rows back, right in the corner. Close enough to feel every check in the corner. Love it.
Remember, like back in the day, you could cross check, you could poke check, it was.
Anyone who's a hockey fan today, who's maybe like 30 years old or whatever, go watch some of these compilation videos from like late 70s, early 80s.
It's
like
the equivalent
Dave
of
Schultz.
It's the equivalent of watching. I remember when Dick LeBeau, who was, I think, he was a coach for years.
Yeah.
I think he ended up with the Bears, but Dick LeBeau was I think was a cornerback or free safety. Anyway, he played for the Lions, and he made it to the Hall of Fame. And they showed his highlight film. His highlight film would have been every play, pass interference,
personal fouls,
and ejection from the game. Like every fucking play the guy made, different era.
And I mean, these guys, what do we got here, Steve? I'm looking at. I think it might be some footage of Steve's MRI he had last year. Oh, this is the launch. Okay, this is happening right now. Is that why we're showing this to Kevin and all the viewers? This it's going off down in Florida. So, to stay fast on the ice, diet would be so important. And HelloFresh, had it been around in the late 70s, these cats would have been would have had to eat like this, would have had to be conscious of their diet. You mentioned your mother-in-law in town. I know they're also big fans of the HelloFresh service. Everyone must know what I'm talking about now. Farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store. That's what I love about it. I love that it's all sent to me. It's portioned. It's idiot-proof. You give me the directions. It's right there in the bags with the name on it, and I just dump it in the pan when you tell me to in the instructions. And I learned things like fennel and, saffron to cook with. Whether your New Year's resolution is going to be saving money, eating better, stressing less about meals, HelloFresh is here to help you do all three. Say hello to your most delicious year yet with fresh ingredients and chef-crafted recipes at a price you'll like, delivered right to your door. Each HelloFresh box is packed with farm-fresh ingredients, and everything arrives pre-portioned, right to your doorstep for less hassle and less wasted food. Don't let recipe boredom strike because HelloFresh has more options than ever before. Now, dig into their biggest menu yet with over 45 dinner options to choose from weekly and even more market and add-on items to suit any lifestyle. They say breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Okay, HelloFresh agrees. In fact, they're giving all subscribers free breakfast for life. That means you'll enjoy a totally free breakfast item with every single HelloFresh delivery. Now, that's worth waking up early for. So go to HelloFresh.com/clickfree, KLIQFREE. Use that code ClickFree for the free breakfast for life. One breakfast item per box while your subscription is active. That's free breakfast for life at HelloFresh.com/clickfree with code ClickFree. You'll find out why they are America's #1 meal kit. Thank you for being on board with us. As always,
Thank you very much.
we have our friends here, the live audience. You can't see them, but they're here because they're subscribers to the KliqThisTV.com, only $9.99 a month. Get to be here, be part of the pregame show. Get to ask questions. Mickey Ray Sinatra, you know who this is, Kevin? Right there.
That's
Might
our
be-
man.
That's our guy. Might be blasphemy in here, but Brett was still is my all-time favorite. I don't care. Who cares about that, Mickey? Welcome. This is the creator of the Get Blitzed Lit Aid. Yes, that we talk about every week.
Brett's one of my favorites.
Dan Updike, we're here every week, worth every penny. Sign up today. And we have something special coming for James Bedford also, weighing in. Survey says sign up for 11 soft.
Nice.
Going to have some exclusive content coming your way from Kayfabe Commentaries Programming. I'll talk about that next week when we have some stuff in the chamber. That's just for being here, guys. You get to have all that exclusive footage. Go to KliqThisTV.com and figure out how to do this. It's super easy. Plus, you get the shows early and without commercials. Kev, CM Punk had a match at Madison Square Garden. His first match since coming back.
Right.
I had to remind myself of that when we were talking about it the other day. It's just we've just been talking about it. He had the pay-per-view appearance, the Raw appearance, the SmackDown appearance. Like he hasn't fucking wrestled yet. So it happened. And
Yes, it did.
it sure did. New York's
You know what?
a tough
And
crowd.
I took into it, like, I watched it, and then I saw like a lot of different opinions, and I said, you know what? I said, I think I'm being swayed, so I'm going to watch it again. And I thought to myself, I mean, Madison Square Garden gave him some fucking thing. Had been like, I don't know, 10,000 days since he'd been there. I don't know.
What, the plaque? They gave him a some kind of memento for returning to the Garden.
It was like 10 years since he'd worked the Garden.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, man, I mean, that's just, there's nothing quite like the Garden. And especially if you're a WWE guy. That's always going to be the home, the home turf. And that crowd can I was talking to a kid last night, and we were talking about the Garden, how, it's a tough crowd. And we said the only place that was tougher was Uniondale.
Oh, out in Long Island?
Fuck. You go out
Well,
there.
because you guys had to follow the bunkhouse stampede. Probably.
Yeah. Had to wipe it off the bottom of our boots.
So the Nassau Coliseum
was
a tough house?
brutal.
Really?
Brutal.
You always hear about Boston.
Philly was rough.
Philly.
Spectrum is fucking rough.
Heel City, though, they must have loved you.
It depends.
What about the Meadowlands?
Oh, that was always good. It was like a different world over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Meadowlands was like work in Europe. You didn't work there very often, so they were just happy to see you. And we always always drew big houses.
Broads had hairy pits too. That's in keeping with
It smelled like hot dog water.
a little bit. And we'll boil cabbage when those panties come off. But to get back to Punk for a minute, so New York, tough city.
Right.
The clip I see first is I did watch the entire match, but first I just saw like a 30-second. There's a corner spot with Dominic Mysterio, and
he misses that clothesline coming out of it. It's kind of awkward.
Yeah, but he goes for the Savage deal. That's an elbow, called the Savage. But you can see a lot of the house when Punk is on the rope. Everybody's on their ass. You don't hear anything. He's got to prompt each pop. And I'm just saying, is it the city? Is it living up to the hype? Is Punk's return coming up empty? The match itself. So then I watched the whole match. And Kevin, it was a little slow. But I'm not one of these fucking spot fest guys. So that didn't bother me as much.
No, I thought one of the things is you could see that it kind of had like a Japanese feel to it. It stopped and started a lot. Like there wasn't.
But was it supposed to? Was it intentional?
I don't know how much time I don't know how the situation is anymore. Or if guys sit down, put it together, or they go out there. I would imagine that they would have, because she was out there, they would have some spots set up, so that you wouldn't not use her. But I just didn't see like a real like a heat spot and then a set of heat set. You know what I mean? Like a 3 minutes of just like him getting his ass beat, where he had a reason to get the people to come. That was one of the few things I just didn't see. There wasn't any heat. There wasn't enough heat in the match.
And that's the return match. You would have thought that Punk would have engendered a much more
number one,
understanding reaction from the crowd.
He's going to blow up because he's 46 now.
46.
He's 46. He hasn't worked. I don't give a fuck what you do on any kind of you can do road work. You can go out and run miles. Nothing like picking up a body, moving. There's nothing like that ring shape. So you're going to blow up. You know you're going to blow up. He looked a little heavy. I personally, and this is just me, think that at 46, his testosterone level's probably in the shitter. And I know he's, straight edge, but I'd go to a longevity doctor, to a doctor, and I'd get my testosterone level checked.
See, all right. So nowadays, guys, I watched wrestling in the 70s. Don Morocco. You had the guys that were in amazing shape, right? Rocky Johnson, Tony
guys that were
Atlas,
fucking
Superstar
jacked.
Grant. But then you had guys like Don Morocco. Could have been a roofer, could have driven a garbage truck. He wasn't, he could go. He was in great shape. Pedro Morales, I'm just thinking physicality. So I come from an era where you don't have to look like an Olympic swimmer.
Those guys were big guys, man.
Yeah, but Punk, he's a little wide, maybe a little like mom jeans kind of hip thing, but I'm fine if you get in the ring and kick someone's ass. Like look Samoa Joe, ass kicking Samoa Joe. I love that there was never
big fucking dude though.
Absolutely, but that's what I'm saying. But it wasn't. You didn't have to be in fitness shape. cover of Muscle and Fitness type shape.
No, but when you look at a guy like Joe, it's like all the Samoans, you know, especially when they get bigger, it's like, how do you fucking hurt that dude? They're fucking got big ass joints, you know, like how do you hurt them?
Right. But as far as Punk's physique, the match was slow. It was
but he worked
it was
against.
a
I mean,
labored
Dom's
match.
not like Dom's not like a big guy.
No, not at all. But it just seemed cautious and slow. But you know what? That's not what was going to make that match special. It was the appearance, right? It's like Andre coming to your city. No one thought anything spectacular was going to happen in the ring.
No, and
Andre.
and everything I read from like his fans were like, you know. But I don't think he like appreciated that you still got it when he, you know, I don't think he appreciated it. Just didn't seem like he appreciated that. It was at all. It almost kind of like, what?
But his fans are like Grateful Dead fans or Kiss fans. Kiss, who did their final show at that very arena last month. You don't want to compare Paul Stanley's voice today to 1978, but it didn't matter. It was the appearance. It was seeing Kiss in the Garden for that last show. It was seeing Punk in the Garden for his first match there in 10 years.
All right.
So it almost didn't matter that the match sucked.
But
where does it go from
I don't
here?
know if it sucked.
No, even if it was worse than it was mediocre.
Oh.
But even if it sucked and it was the worst match ever, it didn't matter. People went there to see Punk come back. But where does it go now? Can you have that kind of match on? Now, I saw it from a fan cam because it wasn't televised. It was just somebody who taped it in the audience.
I saw like probably 5 different. And it was funny that I saw one that was a WWE version of it, and the crowd was much louder.
It's those good microphones they have,
Yeah.
Kev, on those cameras.
So,
but can you do pay-per-view where the cameras are close and the cameras are doing that real cutty stuff? And can it be saved by the camera a little? Were we more critical because we had to watch
I
it
think
all on a
that I think that
stage?
I think that it's like anything else, that when the red light's on, you're a different animal.
Meaning what?
He'll pick it up.
Oh, so the game will be elevated for pay-per-view.
Yeah, he'll pick it up. He'll pick it up on Raw. He'll pick it up. He'll pick it up. It's just that it's like worst case scenario. You haven't been with the company in 10 years, and the first time you work is basically, you know, the Ferrari testing ground of WWE, the Garden. So.
But off TV.
And it wasn't like when he was working at AEW, like the last time he came back, when he was working on Collision, that he was working a fast-paced style.
Did they keep it at a house show because they weren't confident that they should have him return on Raw?
I saw some things in him, like on top of everything else. I know those two, of course, have never touched, so that's going to be difficult. Because I don't think either one of them want to sit back and go over fucking move for move, so they're going to call shit out there, and it's like, if you don't know what somebody's shit's, like, that was always my thing. Like, what do you call that? What do you call this? What do you call that? So I could call it out there. You know, like little simple things like, you know, right there up, I might give you a neck breaker. Which way do you go? What do you mean? Well, when I bend over, do you take me this way or do you take me this way? You know, you take me, you know, left shoulder up, right shoulder up. because everybody does it different. So, I mean, it's just.
I don't think
looked at
anything
it.
happened in that match, Kev, that would have needed any extensive discussion with anybody, no? Even if it was your first time with them?
The 6-1, I mean, I just think you have to have a psychology. You know, to me, it's like we're I looked at it and I'm like, what story were they telling me?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like what story were they telling me? I don't know, and I didn't. I know that that this was the story that that he had heat with Ray, and that he was finally got a chance to. I would have maybe had Dom cut a promo or something
beforehand. Yeah, drive home the purpose.
But they don't like to do that at house shows.
Right.
They hate to do that at house shows.
Kev, you're Paul Levesque. You watch from the monitor or from the tunnel. How do you feel after last night's return to the Garden match?
Well, I mean, what I heard was, and the numbers have been all over the place, but when they said that Phil was going to be on the card, anywhere between 4,000 and 8,000 tickets were sold.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I believe that was the largest non-pay-per-view Garden house show gate of all time.
He's a draw, no question there.
So,
he's a draw. How do you feel after the match?
He definitely paid for himself. I think that he draws. I don't think that, as you said, he draws, and it's not like he's not going to get better every time he goes out there. You know?
Could it be a Hogan situation where it's just the ceremony of seeing Hogan, seeing the leg drop?
No, because Hogan was bigger than life.
Right. Is he at this point?
No.
Okay.
No.
Can he be?
You put him out there with Randy Orton right now?
I'm not talking about physical size. I'm just talking about
that's
charisma.
I'm talking bigger than life.
Okay.
Bigger than life is that. You're one of the reasons he I think he registers so well with everybody is because he's the everyman.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
the Ron Jeremy of wrestling. Every person sees themselves in.
I don't know about that. Ron Jeremy, the fucking hog on him.
Yes,
I don't think anybody looked at Ron Jeremy and said, "Oh yeah, that's me."
No, but his type, his everyman type. It wasn't some statuesque model type guy with that. What the hog made up for it?
No, I don't think you ever get my comparison things very well. Like I couldn't get you to come across the line on that Booker T thing last week.
You wanted me to pick the black guy. I wasn't going to do it on the air. God damn it.
Well, it was. I mean, it's just like, what do we got here? Here are the most recent poll trends.
Okay, what am I doing? I'm being given reading. Polestar entries for past holiday MSG shows. Okay. The gate for the 12/26 show in 2019 was 635,000 with 10,000 paid. 12/26 was 13,000 paid, 769,000, and 12/28 2008 was 18,000 paid. Why? What are they blocking off for the Titantron? Why was it 18,000 in 2008 and only how many seats were last night? It's because of the stage, because of the entranceway. It's a house show that they can cut down on that shit. And so, what was it last night? What am I looking at here? All right, so it was a 16,000 setup. Okay, so that's a good size. And what did it do in gate?
Tickets distributed was 15,569.
Okay.
We don't have a gate on it.
There's no gate yet. 19. No, I don't have a gate for last time. He'll get it.
And then I also heard that Orton on the at the Baltimore place. I don't know, that's the Baltimore Civic Center. What? It's that damn place is so old. The fucking Elvin Hayes shot jump shots there for the Baltimore Bullets.
Is it still the Civic Center from yesteryear?
With
wow.
the stage at one end.
Site
So I had
the,
I had that fucking horrible ladder match with Triple H.
Also the site of the I want to say the Tito Santana title win, Intercontinental title, and
I saw a thing on one of the things where
Bruno lost maybe.
Where LA Knight went out, and I guess LA Knight grew up in that area, and he had cut a promo where this happened there, this happened there. He was here for all these things growing up. He talked about the NWO power bombing, or me and Scott power bombing Bischoff. He was there for that.
Yeah.
So you got a really good response.
Chris Jericho was a bit vocal on Twitter about his not being aware of any NDA in his contract to talk about the CM Punk altercation in AEW. Punk's lawyer tweeted in return that it's in his employee handbook, that the NDA is built into the employee handbook unless he, quote, has a very special agreement with AEW. And he fired back, said, hey, Stephen New, I don't adhere to an employee handbook and never have had one in 4 years of working for AEW. I've also never signed an NDA in my life ever. Stop being a bully and trying to make egotistical fantasy brags for your clients and start doing some research before you make blanket statements about your buddies, because I saw everything that night, including how Lucy and her husband and best buddy acted and what really went down. And since I was in the room and watching her and everybody else the whole time, I know exactly what really happened. And considering you weren't there and I was, maybe you should just shut your mark ass up, because what really went down was disgusting. So that was Christmas. Early Christmas, 1:22 a.m. So now I don't know. I mean,
oh, get him, Chris.
Does he?
Get him, Chris.
You know what? I saw Jim Cornette's clip addressing that tweet. He talked about that tweet for I don't know how many minutes it was, but within I think 12 hours he had 157,000 views on YouTube covering the tweet.
That's a pretty fucking power. I mean, obviously the guy was trying to. I mean, I didn't read the first part of it. Of the guy, was the guy telling him he needed to shut his mouth?
It was Jericho first said, I was there, I saw what happened, and then he said, and I didn't sign. Says something about an NDA, and so. Go up to what did Chris say? Chris said, I didn't sign one. I think it was a very small, he said, I didn't sign one. And that's when the lawyer spoke. I'm sorry. So it was in response to something else about an NDA, not talking about it because of an NDA. And Chris was like, I didn't sign one. So then the lawyer comes out with, it's in your employee handbook unless you have a special.
Is this the lawyer?
That's him right there, Steve New. Yes.
Pull up his picture. Let's see who this fucking cock slave look like. Jesus Christ.
You might have signed a belt for him a couple of weeks ago.
What a fuck, yeah. Really?
So fucking, he...
wasn't he on The White Shadow?
He does look like that, the actor that played The White Shadow. That's amazing. Great reference. He said it's in your employee handbook unless you have a special one. We can figure it out. So Chris thought he was being bullied there, and he just went off. So I don't know. I mean, this is that 1099 thing, Kevin, rearing its ugly head again.
Yeah.
Stephen replied, "Thank you, Chris. We'll just attach this tweet as Exhibit A. Merry Christmas."
Wow.
So,
Exhibit A.
can you tell me what I can talk about and what I can't talk about if I'm a contractor coming to put siding on your house?
I don't think so. If I happen to see you beat the shit out of your wife, isn't that just kind of...
You get on the phone and you call like every other citizen.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't beat the shit out of your wife while I'm putting siding on your house there, fucking pumpkin. What the fuck? That's almost as bad as fucking Nikki Haley not knowing fucking what caused slavery.
Why'd that Civil War? What was that Civil War all about again, anyway? Well, rights and government and wanting to not have certain rights and say it.
You know what? Like I guess she's kind of creeping up in New Hampshire, right?
Well, you can always, how much ink the other candidates are giving someone is always the indication of where polling is. So, yeah. Because DeSantis jumped on the make fun of Nikki Haley bandwagon, so
Yeah.
she's getting close.
She, I tell you, when she didn't address that, she went from presidential candidate to, I can see why South Carolina was the last state to drop
the flag.
the Confederate flag out of their state flag in 2010. Like, wow. Sweetheart, do me a favor. Go in the kitchen, make some mint juleps with the rest of the ladies. We're going to sit out here and smoke cigars and talk SEC football.
Lisa Wolf's on the phone. She wants you to be part of the Housewives Committee planning the fucking
like,
picnic.
wow, you lost all credibility. And then she went on to say that there was no place for government or in your church, religion, but God, whatever you do, don't think that I'm not going to be involved in every woman's health situation possible, including the poor woman that had a miscarriage in the toilet and flushed it. Now they're trying to put her in prison. What a bunch of...
Did you see Chris Christie's latest commercial?
Yeah.
He's just sitting there and he goes, every other candidate is afraid to say Donald Trump's a fucking liar. They all say it to me privately, but I'm the only one with the sack to say it on camera. I thought that was a pretty good, straightforward. We didn't have to do a lot of bullshit. We didn't have to mask a lot of stuff. He sat there and he said, I'm just the one that has the sack to say it to you on TV. Thought that was
I saw a funny thing the other day. It was on Instagram. It was this guy who was sitting there, and it was some steakhouse. It was like 89 that he was at this steakhouse in New York, and he said that Trump walked in. And he said, all of a sudden, man, there's this just putrid odor. And they sit Trump down, and there's like two couples that they sit him down. And I mean, they don't say anything, but the other two couples within 5 minutes, both are like, come over here, please. And they went over to Trump's table, and I guess he just fucking was reeking of shit.
This is, my wife showed me a meme today.
And they fucking, they, and he says, because the guy was like, at the beginning, he said, I would never, if this was today, and he's 77 years old, I would never make fun of an elderly person that had some kind of a problem.
Incontinence issue, yeah.
Right. He says, but this motherfucker's been shitting on us for 40 fucking years. And then they showed this other clip where he walks in or walks by different people, like the Pope, and the Pope like
This is the clip I saw.
Yeah,
This is the
it's
and they strung together like a bunch of situations where people
They just, like-
recoil. Physically,
one of
recoil.
them's like finds the lady from San Francisco that just the old she's I think she Feinstein or Feins whatever her
Diane
name is.
Feinstein.
Yeah, she's sitting to her left, and she catches a whiff, man, and boy, it's like when you're sitting in first class, or I think you sit anywhere on the planet. I guess the farts aren't just up in first class, but when somebody rips one, and you see like 8 people go to the air immediately.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
this-
is this some of the?
Thank you.
I don't know if this is the. Is that him going to the gym? That's Netanyahu wondering if he should have spent. This is a different one than I saw.
Yeah,
but-
this is not the shit. This is
yeah,
not
no. Look for this one on I don't know, TikTok or Instagram or something. But this is just him being confused and I guess having to go to the bathroom all the time.
Yeah.
But there's one where people are visibly recoiling from it. And
Well,
listen,
there was
there's
a-
maybe equal footage of Biden doing the same thing. I'm sure that he's on. So
There's
much
a,
meds, so he shits wicker. I think.
There's a guy that was like telling like a tell-all type thing, and he was one of the people that dressed Trump for The Apprentice, and I guess like Ivanka was that was on the show with him, and she'd be like, "Dad, like fucking uncle." And they'd have to dress him, and these guys would fucking have to take him in, and fucking he'd shit all over himself, and they'd have to clean him up and get him ready to get back to The Apprentice. And
That's such a weird.
and so you talking about non-disclosures. I mean, there must have been NDAs on it if you were on The Apprentice.
Kindly do not discuss any odors. You
Cannot discuss any nor make any shit jokes.
I sitting next to people in your business for years and on camera, sometimes for 2-3 hours, and then they would rise first often after the show, and so I'm right at. And there's that hole between the seat and ass as they stood. That whole air, if that got blown toward, a Vader could knock you right off your chair if you are at eye level with his ass when he stood.
If you could start a war by dropping his ring gear into a country.
Yeah. Volkov was interesting too. Volkov had an interesting diet. So there was some interesting. I never interviewed him for a show, but I was at a wedding. I was sitting next to him at a wedding, and
it's like falling asleep. It's like falling asleep when you were younger, and you had to take a Trailways or a Greyhound, and you fucking decided when you woke up and your head was on the seat next to you, on the bottom, on that fucking fart cushion.
North Korea's Kim Jong-un has ordered his military to accelerate war preparations. I don't know if you're aware of this, Kevin, but he's looking at specifically, he has a term for people like us here in the U.S. that tend to get involved with despots across the country, across the globe.
Full bellies.
Yeah. Anti-imperialist independent countries. He's expanding strategic cooperation with his anti-imperialist independent countries.
Get in line.
Imperialist U.S.
Aren't Israel and Hezbollah firing missiles across on each other now?
Yeah, they've now. I had to go to the BBC for that story because it's just body count information here. Both sides keeping score. But BBC had a piece about how they've now kind of turned to the border with Lebanon and said to Hezbollah.
That's a Hezbollah.
We're turning all the guns on you if we hear anything coming from your side of the fence. So that'll be
they've already exchanged volleys.
Yeah. Well, I know that. I guess that's what prompted the warning today. Unbelievable. So North Korea will be doubling down on their efforts to produce nuclear weaponry, and
Yeah, because that's a winning fucking hand you can always play.
yeah, they're thinking of the long game clearly, but half their country's still starving because of droughts and
But
improper support for their farming.
you're going to tell me that we don't have a missile that's
Of course.
I mean, I don't know how far he'd have to go underneath the ground to but
We've got one pointed at him with Trump's underwear wrapped across the tip, and one with Vader's drawers on the bottom. That's going over.
No, we'll trick him and send fucking Trump's underwear in a beautiful love story and a fucking letter.
Right, he'll see the return address and he'll open it. Probably.
Be nothing like it. It'd be like anthrax and a turd.
Kevin, there's a woman in Minnesota suing her dentist because in one sitting she was over anesthetized, twice the amount that she should have been for her body height, weight, etc. And the dentist proceeded to do 4 root canals, 8 crowns, and 20 fillings in one visit.
I didn't know my dentist from my childhood was still in practice.
It was still, the process was a little shorter than the maestro. Still, you could still watch that in a shorter amount of time.
My brother went to this. We had this dentist named Aaron Blake. You motherfucker.
Oh,
and my brother went in for his first time as a kid. 44 cavities this motherfucker drilled in my brother's mouth. I swear to you. He got me for like 26. My dad had that good Ford fucking motor fucking dentist
insurance
shit. Oh, fuck.
But wait, not in one visit.
Oh, fuck. Like, he got my brother in like 3 days in a row. I was like, and I've never even got fucking when the first time I got Novocaine by another dentist, I was like, oh, fuck. Like, I just.
Wait a minute. This prick started drilling you and your brother, your kids. He starts drilling your teeth with no anesthetic at all. It should be criminal. If that guy's alive, you just should throw a suit on him.
I've worked on the screenplay because he got my sister too about a dentist that does this to two brothers and a sister, and they fucking go in after hours when they're like in their mid-30s, right before he fucking, and just we torture him to death.
Wow. See, the investigators here said that that there was that much damage to this person's mouth, but it's handled over time. This is not done in one sitting. Good God. She was given...
See, I never could do anything because I signed a fucking non-disclosure.
Oh, they got you.
My mark ass.
Yeah. Good God. But, yeah, I just thought that was horrific. And how do you... I guess she would have had to been knocked out for so long because how do you not protest? How do you not protest while you're there? You go, okay, so which two are you doing today? You know?
Just one.
Didn't ask any questions?
One crown's fucking... Ugh.
Good God.
I got elbowed in the mouth when I was playing basketball. It knocked both my front teeth to the roof of my mouth, and I just pulled them forward and stuck them in, and they both fucking filled with blood. Turned black as the years went on.
Other than your knee, what was your worst basketball injury? You get your finger. What kind of condition are your fingers in? Are they all jammed up? And look at Larry Bird's hand. It's like a.
I mean, I mean, I don't know. Like, they're all they're twisted and shit. But I mean, I've got like where the bones have came through, and but I'm one of those fuckers, man. I get everything fixed. I'm not one of these
but
guys.
when you were 20, though, you
yeah,
just...
but I mean, I get everything fixed. I mean, if it looks fucking gnarly, it's like fuck that. Fix that.
You know what looks gnarly? If I were to show you a list, Kevin, of all the subscriptions recurring, deducting money from your bank account or on your credit card every month, and you probably have no idea how many things you're paying for.
No, I used Rocket, went through my shit.
Yeah, well, exactly. But had you not had the beauty of Rocket money in your life, you'd be sitting here asking questions like, why the hell do I have 4 subscriptions to this streaming network? Tamara signed up, T signed up, you signed up.
That
the
looks
dog
like,
stepped on the
that
fucking
looks like
remote
mine
one
on the screen right there. The $3,000
with the line just going up like the Dow. You know, if I asked most people how many subscriptions they'd have, they'd be blank. And if you told them, they would be shocked. And I don't think I knew before I started using Rocket Money either. Let me tell you, it's almost fun to use this. If it wasn't your bank account you were looking at, you put in your information and it shows you the recurring subscriptions that you have. And the glorious part of this is with the tap of a button, they will cancel the ones you don't want anymore that are duplicate. Money could be flying out of your account and you have no idea where it's going. It's all these damn subscriptions. Think about it, between streaming services, fitness apps, delivery services, parenting apps. It's endless. I'm guilty of this. I like anybody else, you just lose track of this stuff. I found a Broadway.com on a whim. My daughter signed up for it like a year and a half ago. So I use Rocket Money to help me find out what subscriptions I'm spending money on. It's eye-opening, and it's so super easy to cancel them. It's a personal finance app. It finds and cancels unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, helps you lower your bills all around. So Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has helped save its members an average of $720 a year, with over $500 million in canceled subscriptions. Stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/Nash. That's rocketmoney.com/Nash and get using it today. Thank you, Rocket Money. And that's going to bring us, Kevin, to our tap out of the week. This week's.
I thought we already had it at the opening.
In the opening credits.
Oh.
No, we're rapping for Jesus now. Is this cut? Some folks in some church in the South.
Let me call my mother-in-law for this.
Yeah, she may know the artist. I'm not sure. Please, a little rapping for Jesus. West Dubuque, Second Church of Christ brings us this, for God's sakes. Here we go.
Well, I wrote this song for the Christian youth. I want to teach kids the Christian truth. If you want to reach those kids on the street, then you got to do a rap to a hip-hop beat. So I gave my sermon an urban kick. My rhymes are fly, my beats are sick.
Just let it go another minute. Another few seconds. Go ahead.
No, I don't want to look. This guy looks like...
You don't want to see Jerry Jarrett again working the beatbox in the back?
This guy looks like a complete freaky pedophile. I don't want him in my life. I want. There's
Jerry Jarrett rocking the on the mixer, on the crossfader. All right, Steve, you don't have to bleep the N-word then. We didn't get to it.
Now I want to murder the guy. And I just saw him trying to have street cred with his arms crossed with the shades on.
There you go. It's tremendous. I guess this happens out there, guys. Florida man or Jersey guy? Kevin, your record is impeccable of late. I don't know how you do it. It's almost a supernatural thing. You go into a state.
No, I live in Florida. It's just, I watch the.
You grew up in the north and you live in the.
I watch the news here, and every night I'm just like, what?
All right, 2 headlines for anyone who doesn't know what the hell we're doing here. I sometimes wonder what the hell I'm doing here, Kev. You know, I have a degree. I've written 9 books, and I brought down deodorant to put on my feet today. We happen not to be doing this segment, but I brought down the deodorant and wipes.
I have the saddlewood on today.
Oh, you do? I'm going with Mount Fuji today.
Yeah,
the Mount Fuji scent.
It's kind of cool because it's a clear, like almost like like clear, but like a lotion. You just boop and hit the pits and.
Oh yeah, we'll talk extensively about them next week. But right now, 2 headlines: one an actual Florida man, one an actual Jersey guy, and their escapades in our world. First headline: teen arrested for filming man under bathroom stall of store. And man goes fishing in Bass Pro Shops pond, flees with live 50-pound tarpon.
Second one's Florida. I actually remember when that happened.
Do you? Were you there? Are you like Jericho? Are you going to be able to tell us about it because you didn't sign the Bass Pro NDA?
I do have a contract with Bass Pro, but it doesn't have an NDA joined to it. So
okay. Yes, you're absolutely correct. By the way, the first was a teen from Pennsauken, New Jersey, who has been arrested for invasion of privacy, sticking the camera under the stall, filming someone using the bathroom. That was 19-year-old David Reyes.
He's 5'2", so he's kind of like low anyway.
He could have walked under the stall, probably.
Exactly. Oh, I'm sorry, you in here? Boy, that guy's...
Didn't see the yellow bandana in your pocket.
Do some time, boy. You'll fucking last long.
You know, he'll be traded extensively.
You'll wake up inside somebody's urethra like a fucking sleeping bag.
And then our friend in where are we here? Florida. Is that the Florida?
I don't think tarpon run. Tarpon don't run that far north, do they?
It's in Fort Myers.
I know, but I don't think they run up Jersey.
Oh no. I'm sure we have one somewhere.
Tarpon they're like
it's indoors, the pond, right?
Right, but I mean, when as an actual game fish, like I've been out before to when the tarpon run, and those, man, you catch one of those things, they're a fight. You can't eat them, they're not with the shit, but as far as just game fish to catch and put back in.
Right.
Kev,
yes.
When they run, it's like, there's like a pack, like a school of them.
I wouldn't know a tarpon if it attacked me. I do not fish. I'm not very outdoorsy, Kev. If you might notice,
I'm not
very indoorsy either.
People always say, "Hey, want to go fishing?" I said, "I'll go out on your boat. I'll catch a buzz. I don't know."
Fuck around with a reel all day.
I'm not touching no fish or none of that shit.
No. You're busy in the gym, and you know what? For those of us that don't know as much about going to the gym as you do, FitBod is our answer. It has been. FitBod has returned, Kevin. Let's welcome FitBod back to the
welcome back, FitBod.
Kliq This podcast. This app
back workout
is essential, really, for your workout needs. It's a fitness app. It creates completely personalized workouts that adapt as you improve. Completely personalized to your workout system. Whether you're a seasoned gym goer or you're just starting your fitness journey, FitBod will push you to make progress. It's like having your own personal trainer, but it's better. It's cheaper, first of all, and you can work out anywhere with or without equipment, and it's easy to build a custom fitness plan that works for you. I love you. So you put in what you want to do. You select the what part of the body. See here in the example I have lower body power. Okay, so I'm looking at the hamstrings, the glutes, whatever else was just up there on the screen. So there you go, quads, abductors, and you put it in. It gives you the workout. Now it's going to adjust as you get better. It's so much. It's so easy. And you see if you can see the bottom part of that there, you can add exercises to it. Deadlift, barbell, good morning. This is great. It creates the personalized workout first based on your goals, your fitness level, and the available equipment. Totally customized for you. It adapts as you improve, so each workout's going to be challenging and push you to make process. Tracks your muscle recovery. That's key. It helps you avoid burnout and keeps up your momentum. Fine-tuned by experienced, certified personal trainers to bring best practices and exercise science to you right onto your phone. It's that easy, guys. Learn new movements the right way. There's over 1,000 demonstration videos. Guys, add FitBod to your workout essentials. Join FitBod today. Get your personalized workout plan. And you're going to get 25% off your subscription. Or try the app free at fitbod.me/Kliq, Kliq. That's FITBOD.me/Kliq, KLIQ. Thank you, FitBod.
See, that'd be perfect for the guy that wanted to know how to make his arms bigger.
The guy that wrote us a couple of weeks ago concerned about
Go
that.
right
Yeah,
to-
that's a great answer. Go
Right to
grab
right to
FitBod.
right to biceps, and there you go.
It is time for Ask Nash. Hashtag Ask Nash is how you can be part of that, or just join the KliqThisTV.com crew that's here. But Preston Fabre wrote in and said, considering your height, I would definitely assume that you're not a big movie theater fan, i.e. the average theater seat being too small for a man of your stature, not ample legroom, etc. With that being said, was there ever a time where you preferred a movie theater over your couch for the viewing of a movie? If so, when? What got you to the theater?
Maybe Jaws in '75. Star Wars in '77. I don't know. Celebrate. I mean, let me see the last thing that me and my wife saw at the theater. I can't even think.
What if would you go to a theater that had, like up by me, like the AMC dine-in theaters? They have leather recliners. They recline all the way back. A lot of leg room. I mean,
Yeah, but who knows
row
who
is
sat
nowhere
there
near you in
before
front
you?
well, they're leather, so I mean,
Yeah.
you'd see any action that was. If there was any Vader type action, you'd
Yeah,
see
but
it. Got the little table. Slide the table in front of you. They bring you the food. Okay,
we got our protein popcorn. We can have it at home.
that's
so I'm
true.
good.
We can nail that. So Preston, he's not hitting the theater.
No, I'm not a theater. I'm kind of pretty much a recluse. I don't go anywhere.
Well, the gym.
I go to the gym. Yeah.
Rocky Monroe, have you heard the conspiracy that Garth Brooks could be a serial killer? There are a bunch of unsolved murder cases that line up perfectly with Garth's tour dates. Did you ever hear about this?
Mm-mm.
I have to look. I have to investigate. This now, Rocky.
I was brought in by the Dallas Police Department, but I had to sign a non-disclosure.
Right. Regarding Kennedy or the Garth Brooks affair?
Kennedy. What's the Brooks thing?
Oh, okay. So I'll have to look at this. Could be Garth's tour manager or maybe a roadie, but they're going right to Garth Brooks having the time to bury bodies. I don't know, Rocky. I'll look into it. I'll let you know. Fernham Schnavitz, still alive and well, thank God. Would like to know, how do you feel about truck drivers? Is that like a divisive topic or?
I always thought it was. I mean, I like to drive. I always thought it'd be something that I would be good at.
A lonely existence, but you like that. You don't want to be around people.
Yeah, as long as I had some tunes, a little TV, that little double sleeper.
One Cornet podcast could get you from Nashville to Butte, Montana, I bet.
If I'm driving 30.
Exactly. Live audience, what do we have? What have we here? Dan Updike, favorite barbecue spot in Daytona. I'm coming down from MegaCon in Orlando next month and planning to stop there for a day.
Oh God, I can't even, because T always brought it
The
home.
pit, the barbecue pit,
No, it's
the
in
one
the
off
hood.
95. Oh,
It's in the hood. I don't think it's on MLK. My son used to always bring home barbecue from a place that was in the hood.
okay. What's that place? It's right at like the intersection of 95 and 1. Maybe if there's exit 270.
Oh, way up by
270.
Ormond.
270 something. I'm 284. It's south of me.
Oh,
Bethune Grill. Okay. And there it is.
boom.
It's on Mary McLeod Bethune Boulevard.
Yeah, that would be it.
Down to earth option. Can anyone read between the lines as they do that write up? Chicken wings, fried seafood. Good. All right. Well, there you go.
That's straight for the team, man.
Let us know. Let us know how it goes there. Was that Dan? Asked us. Yeah, Dan. Check it out. Go with caution, though. Bring a friend.
Oh man, that's cool.
Brandon Douglas, not interested in asking about wrestling. The holidays can be tough. Plus, add in the anniversary of your mother's passing. How are you holding up? Keeping you and your wife in my prayers. Yeah, that's Kevin put a nice write-up on Instagram I saw last night.
Yeah, I was just thinking about how long ago, because they kept putting things about me winning against Bill Goldberg, and it just so happened that winning that was on the same night. It seems like every time I win a championship, my mom is somehow involved. But yeah, so it's just like I was thinking, like, God, how long ago, was it my mom passed? It was like 29 years. I was like, wow.
Yeah. You, I remember, God, I want to say even back to when we did those shows, the timelines and stuff, which has to be 15 years now or something. Maybe not 10 years. But I remember you always talking about the title win in the context of being able to bring the belt to your mom.
Yeah. I brought it home, and I bent over. I said, "Look, Mom, I won it." She said, "That's nice." She says, "Could you get off me?" She says, "You're choking me to death with your hair." All my hair was in her mouth.
Hanging in her face.
She's like, yeah, "That's nice."
Anyone else from the audience? Step up to the mic. Step up to the mic. Mickey Ray, Isley Brothers Challenge. Footsteps in the Dark 1 and 2, or Voyage to Atlantis. The Ron Isley guitar in Voyage is some of the best I've ever heard.
God, yeah. I mean, I can't. It's like picking a Beatles song when you're talking the Isleys.
Right.
And who's that lady's got some pretty damn good guitar in it.
Oh yeah, that wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Good shit.
What's the Isley Brothers? Is it just the best of? It has a fast and a slow side.
Oh, did they do that?
Yeah, they have one. Yeah, because I remember I used to put the slow side on.
I bet
when
you
I was
did.
in college.
I bet you did.
Take the arm up off the gimmick, so just play, pick up. White
Will you
girls,
tell us, Mickey Ray?
White girls in Tennessee didn't know what hit them. Shit, baby, I do this shit all night long. Go ahead and sign that NDA before you go out the door.
Dakota Caulk. Hey, Kevin, if Diesel and Razor, you and Scott, not the fakes, were to wrestle you and Scott as the outsiders in WCW in a tag team or singles match, who would win? You guys as the outsiders or Razor and Deezer? Thanks for asking. I love that question.
Razor and Diesel would win.
Why? Really?
Because Razor and Diesel fucking wrestled 320 days a year. Those motherfuckers.
NWO just leaned on the ropes for promos on Monday night.
We just fucking sat in the back drunk with sunglasses on. Here was me and Scott's pre-Nitro. Walk in, late as fuck. Find an elevator if we could find one, but get to the top of the arena, to the top row with our backs to the wall and no clear exits anywhere around where somebody could, and sit up there and burn one and watch all the guys in the ring do shit. We'd be just pass it low.
Was this before the doors opened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sit up there and just burn one like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Then go out and get beer.
Brilliant. Mr. Berger says, as a Bears fan, I'm curious, how excited are you for Dan Campbell and the Lions organization?
I mean, I'm excited. It's great, but it's just, you know, it's like when your wife's pregnant, you know, until they slap its ass and you count the fingers and toes, you ain't got shit. So, I mean, I think the Saturday 8 o'clock is going to be a interesting.
Little side wager, Kev?
Yeah. What do
Even you wouldn't take that action.
What are they giving them? They're giving the Lions 3.5?
No, I think it was.
Or is it 6.5?
It was. I think it was 6.5 as of. Let me go back and look at what the line is.
It's in Dallas.
Let's see. What do you got there, Steve? Give it to me. Down to 5.5. Is that what that says? All right, down to 5.5. Little digestible. Under 6, 2 field goals.
Yeah.
Anyone else from the live audience have any questions? Breakfast good for price. You guys like Texas de Brazil?
No. You got it. It's such an absolute ripoff. What they do is they bring the meat, and it's so oversalted that you can't stop drinking water. And they try to wait you out and go over there to their fucking Ponderosa Steakhouse fucking salad bar bullshit. If you want to fuck with them, tell them you're on a special cardiac diet, you can't have any salt, and you just want filet medium rare with no salt, and they'll bring one over and it'll be salted. You'll be like, I said no salt. Those motherfuckers will come over so pissed off and be slinging fillets, and I just keep that green thing up. Just keep bringing them, bitch.
So this is a Rodizio style
yeah,
meat house.
Yeah,
charcuterie, the endless charcuterie.
And the thing that pisses me off too is I went there with Dallas and Mick when we were in Birmingham, and I told him, I told him what the gimmick was. I said, man, you gotta do it. And Dallas had his wife with him. I said, you got to tell him no salt. And they always try. Then I said, man, I'm going to buy a nice bottle of wine. You're going to get tipped. Just, dude, like some guy was on the golf course all day and came in and drank a couple of margaritas and did the crappie on the floor next to us.
Did what?
The crappie. From dehydration.
Oh.
The
Threw a little alcohol on top of that too.
Yeah, and the guy that's with us, that's Dallas and Mick's friend that works with autism, is a doctor, And the guy's doing the crappie, and they both look at him and go, "Aren't you a doctor?" And he goes, "Oh, yeah." And he got up, and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I was enjoying my steak, but
Yeah,
yeah, I guess I
yeah. Somebody's got to save this fucking guy.
am I the only doctor in the house?
I'm thinking, jeez.
James Bedford with the NWO being so hot when it started. Were other wrestlers jumping to get involved with angles? Did Ray Jr. ask to be the one torpedo thrown into that trailer?
Ray was going to jump off it, and he said, Ray actually asked me, he says, "Kev, do you think you can throw me through that window?" And I'm like, I'm not going to throw you through a window.
Wow. But I get his point that, you want to be on the hottest angle on TV. Yeah. And even if you just had your ass kicked by the NWO, you're going to be in every clip on every program, covered by all the sheets.
Well, they were our boys. I mean, Ray and all those guys, we got along with them immediately. Mm-hmm. So once Pot came in, the king of Pot came in.
The king of Pot.
Once the king of Pot came in, we were fine. Kid used to like to go to the top of the roof. I remember when we did those domes. We did like, the Superdome, Georgia Dome, RCA Dome, Alamo Dome. Like Monday after Monday was the old Astro Dome. Like to sit up on top of the Astro Dome and burn one was
historic in a way.
I mean, you're talking about things in your life. Like some people talk about great matches. Me, best place is to blow a blunt.
That's going to be, whenever we do the book, that's going to be an entire chapter. Best arenas.
Blunts around the world.
Blunts around the world. Another audience question I saw pop there. Irish Flyers 12. What are we doing for Mania? We should do a watch along live. Couldn't do that due to copyright restrictions, of course.
Plus, I'll be in Philly.
Yeah, hopefully we can do something live or something. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just stay home. Probably just stay home. Listen, it is New Year's Day. If everyone is listening when this drops.
Steve is saying they mean a live show in Philly. I'll be there.
Oh,
I mean, I don't know how it works. I mean, it's got to be. It's got to be profitable, or it's just not worth doing.
Yeah. Well, we have to talk to the powers that be.
Right. Somebody's got to give us some coinage to show up, and
we'll draw a house for you, promoters. We'll draw a house for you. All right, let's bring the staff up here.
We'll get Punk on as a guest.
We'll get that.
And LA Knight. We'll do both nights.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll do LA Knight one night and then Punk the night before.
Screw 2300 Arena. We get the I was going to call it the Spectrum. What is it called now? Core States? No. What is it called now? Whatever their big arena is.
The Center. The Wells Fargo Center.
Wells Fargo
like 6
Center.
banks.
Yeah, I know.
It was Wachovia. I blew my quad in Wachovia.
So, what do we have? I guess they do. I guess the thing to do to be very pedestrian and like everyone else, we should do some. We'll do some resolutions for the coming year, 2024. We're in 2024, for God's sake. Steve, what are you gonna do?
I think I'm gonna try to be like, this is a floofy one, but I'm gonna try to be more present. Like, I feel like I'm too worried about what's already passed or what's upcoming. Like, I need to just be more in the moment. I know that's actually probably a pretty common one.
That is the gayest thing you've ever said.
No,
mindfulness. It's called, right? The mindful movement.
Yes.
And yes, I think you should be more present.
I lived my whole life not that, always, and I fucking paid dearly for it. always thinking I'd had another day here, another day here, another day here, and it's just like, you know.
Wes, what about you? Gonna
They
watch
made it
some,
all serious and shit.
see more foreign films in black and white. You are to film what Dave Meltzer is to wrestling in Japan, right?
I watch a lot of movies. Anatomy of a Fall, everyone. Watch Anatomy of a Fall. No, but I want to do. I want to get better at photography. So my shoot gig during the day, I do video and photography and streaming and a bunch of different stuff. But I've only ever done photography as a, like, people are like, hey, you point a camera at things, take some still photos also, and it kind of relates to video, but it doesn't really. So I just need to get better at like taking good photos on purpose and outside of just professional gigs. So I wanted to start taking more photos of things. I'm gonna try to do that.
Take the lens cap off first.
That's
I always
I
figure that
tell you
out on the
what
second shot.
a lost art is portraits. Like
That's actually I'm way better at those than I do a ton of studio headshots for people.
Such a lost art to shoot an interesting portrait, to light,
really wanna-
to frame.
Yeah, I want to dabble with like landscapes and shit because I've never tried doing that. Everything I've done has been portrait or close up, like people, models, and stuff, photography. But yeah, so that's mine.
Okay,
Sean.
Oh boy, I'm caught between the Dalai Lama living in the present over here and Wes taking pictures. So okay, let's see. Brandon Douglas, losing weight so he doesn't die, hit the gym, focus on my health. Well, that's always a good one, Brandon. You have to do that. Mr. Yuck, to be the example he wants to see in the world. Can't go wrong there. Lose weight, get healthier. This is Josh. I've been working hard at it now, but the ultimate resolution is to become a legit 11 soft. Weights at rope. Okay.
It's probably a surgery for that.
Eddie P., have you written any books?
Sorry, that's a question we didn't get to.
Yes, yes, I did. It's called Todd is God. Go get it. James Bedford wants to be here for the next New Year's show. Yes, stay healthy, James. For me, I want to learn a new skill. This is David Van Bogen. Either some kind of coding language, piano, maybe Spanish. I want to try and learn one thing out of my comfort zone this year.
Learn Chinese.
My constant struggle is always balance. I'm imbalanced all the time. I'm either too much with one thing or the other. I don't know how to do it, so someone would have to tell me. With a lot of work, a lot of different kind of work. I have my hand in a lot of different things. And I have a family that I love dearly, and we're very close. And I want my kids, and I think my kids have grown up seeing that you can do movies, write books, and do podcasts, and spend time during the day doing other jobs, and still have your family be the priority. But I feel that I have to do that in better numbers. I think I should schedule things, maybe. Like put stuff on a calendar.
I'll tell you a bit off air, but I have a friend who hired an assistant, and I thought that was ridiculous at first. And then I saw that output that friend does.
Mm.
And like he pays an assistant a part-time wage.
Yeah.
And some weeks they don't even do a whole lot. Some weeks they do a whole lot, and it kind of evens out. But the idea that the assistant can do stuff for them is a thing you don't, especially if you don't grow up around people who have assistants. It's not a thing that even occurs to you.
Is it an in-person assistant, or is it like Mukesh in India?
It's an in-person assistant who sometimes I need my car done.
Oh, you don't have to explain it. I need an assistant all the time to handle everything. If one thing pops up that's not planned, if I have to do anything like for my car, or go like handle some like life shit, get a chain for the toilet, everything's fucked. There might not be a show that week because It's just everything's upside down. I want to send my laundry out. I'm done. The laundry and whose pants are these? God damn it. I said there are services that take it and they weigh it and they wash it and fold it and bring it back. That's the first thing I'm going to do. Kevin, what's your New Year's resolution?
I'm going to start spending the fucking money I've been holding on to all these years.
Ooh, what can we do with it?
I'm gonna start fucking living. And I bought my last Christmas with my son. He wanted this Martin guitar, and I bought it for him, and he just never really got a chance to play it because I had an old Takanami or whatever the fuck they're called. Then he got that. He had a 12-string. And he started playing it. For some reason, started playing the 12-string, and he never really played the Martin. And I thought to myself, I said, maybe I should fucking in memory of him, because I miss hearing live music in the house. I miss him just coming down and just fucking jamming. And I'm thinking that would be a way just to kind of, because we were going to do that. I was trying when we were doing this. We started with this, and I said to him, "Hey, do you think a couple days a week you could teach me how to play guitar?" He said, "If you're serious, you're going to fuck around. I'm not going to do it." I think I had to sign a non-disclosure. But yeah, but I don't know. I'm going to get in better shape too.
Right,
Better.
you're. Oh yeah.
No, I mean, I want to get to 8% body fat.
All three of us just groaned.
I'm sorry.
Kev, how do you? Let me ask you a question. I'm losing weight now, right? So I'm concerned with the elasticity of the skin. How do we make it such that everything tightens up? The weight I'm losing
Collagen.
here, the weight I'm losing here. Collagen.
Yeah, you might have to.
Well, a lot of creams have collagen, or is that just bullshit?
No, but I mean, there's. I just started going to a anesthetist. Is that what they are? To get facials.
Oh yeah.
So I go every 6 weeks and I get a facial done because I was starting to get these. I'm not starting. I still have them, but I was getting these calcifications. As you get older, you just get fucked up skin, and so just taking better care of myself, trying to cut back my drinking even more.
A lot of these Medi spas, you can run in real quick. They'll do a little nip tuck, little Botox here,
Yeah, you got to watch out though, man.
Turn your mouth up a little, plump your lips up a little bit. Very subtle though, subtle. You don't want to look like
there's a couple of fucking girls that I worked with that start, pro wrestling girls that start getting work done that I can see now that it's starting to change the way they look.
Yes, but that's why you got to be very subtle.
You're a dude.
What?
You're a dude.
People aren't paying attention to us.
No.
Yeah, they don't fucking. They want you to look like fucking. They want you to look like Robert Redford.
I've not had any work.
No,
This may shock.
I haven't had it either. I'm 60. I'll be 65 in July.
This is God-given 51 here. Thank you everybody for participating in.
Hey,
the audience.
Dom's not here, but I know he wants to try to attend more live shows.
Oh.
But he's also been hitting the gym like a madman. He posts like a gym selfie every day, so he's
sweet.
He's doing all the gym stuff too.
So maybe for him, it's go to the gym less.
Right. Yeah.
So, Kev, somebody asked, do you want to get in better shape for that Rumble run-in since it's in Tampa this year?
I don't have time.
Exactly. You need to hire a personal assistant. Kliq This is a production of Butch and Sundance Media, produced in association with Podcast Heat, created by Tristan Nash, Kevin Nash, Sean Oliver, producer Steve Kaufmann, graphics by Dominic D'Angelo, title sequence and audio edit by Wesley Burrelson, theme song by Dale Oliver, technical research by Tristan Nash, copyright 2024. Butch and Sundance Media.
Way to save that one.
Kev, want to do another year?
Fuck yeah. We're both healthy.
Let us free to fade away into eternity. Circulate, you've come to love me, but now I'm frozen in dead flesh. Oh, Sophie, knew all along was a trick, but the customer service never answers the thing. Let us free to breathe in air we're supposed to breathe. Through twists and turns, you've come to love me. Now I'm cold, I'm frozen. Baby, we're broken, and the customer service never answers a thing. Yeah, the customer service never answers a thing.